Hi, my name's Joe Morrow. I'm going to be talking through a few things that we call axioms here in our worship ministry. And what an axiom is just a statement to just say, we believe these things are crucial to us being a thriving, healthy worship ministry. And so we desire that all of our musicians that are involved in our worship ministry, that they actually want to become these things in their life. And so I'm going to walk you guys through these things, and I hope that they're helpful to kind of maybe set the stage of the trajectory of how we would love for you guys to serve this church. So number one is that we are worshipers first. Isn't that so true? The Bible even is telling us that we want to worship God with all of our hearts. We want that to be the forefront of who we are. And so we always want to make sure that our talents that God gives us, that those things are subordinate to who we are as His children. So just think of it this way. We are worshipers of Jesus first and foremost. And so being a musician is not where, and this is really easy for musicians to do, is to find their identity in what they do. Like, I am a guitar player, or I am a drummer, or I sing. And so that is not where our identity should lie. Our identity should lie actually in who Jesus has actually made us to be. And so we are made to be worshipers. And so our distinctiveness is found in Him alone. Therefore, our first resolution is that in this life, we want to be worshipers through all aspects of our living, including being musicians. Number two is that we want to be inclusive family members. And so what does that mean? It means that we're not this exclusive club or this elite group that just hangs out in green rooms and we don't ever intermingle with the rest of our community here at Redeemer. We want to actually be a church body with Redeemer together. And so we are inclusive of everyone. We're not something that we're drawing a line and saying, you're not a musician or I serve better than you. That's just not a Christian attribute at all. And so we want to make sure that this attitude, this core of Christianity is that we are an inclusive body of believers. And so we have auditions that happen every single semester. And so those new people that are coming in, we want to, with open arms, welcome them into our worship ministry and make them feel welcome by including them in just our friendships, being hospitable to them. We also want to, there's things that we might know and we might want to help pull them along and help them understand how things happen here. And then also we want to love them like God loves us. And so we are wanting to be inclusive family members here on our worship ministry. The third thing is that we want to be self-sustaining servants. And so the interesting thing about church is that we think that once we're in a position at a church, so whether it's the lead pastor or just an entering volunteer, we want to remember that God has given us a specific number of years to live, and we want this church to continue past us being here. And so we want to be always thinking about not just this present time, but also the future and what the future has to offer for God's church. And so we want to be able to think about how is it that I am going to be replacing myself later on down the line. And so we want to be servants to this church by saying, I'm not the end all for this church. So if it subtracts me out, this place can continue to keep going forward. And so what this also means is that not everything is on one person's shoulder. We actually carry the load with each other. And so we want to make sure that this allows the church to be self-sustaining moving forward. And this includes everyone, again, from lead pastor to the small group leader, including someone that is a musician, a vocalist, a drummer, whoever that is. And so we're a team together. We're also a team moving towards the future. And so we always want to think about it in this, how in the future can I replace myself? So the way that we do that is we want to bring others along. So someone that's new, we want to go, hey, come alongside me. I want to teach you exactly what I'm doing so that if I'm sick one week, it's easier for you to just jump right in and take my place. Or say our church grows and becomes, another campus. We want to be able to have people to be able to put right into those campuses and actually keep this church growing and sustaining over the long term. Number 4 is that we are creative artists. God has uniquely designed each of us to be not just hired hands that come in and play on a Sunday or any other service and then just go home. We actually want to encourage everyone a part of our ministry to be uniquely expressing themselves inside of our rehearsals, our services, and any time that we're just like jamming together or whatever it is. And so we encourage songwriting here. We encourage creative arrangements. We encourage just anything that has to do with creativity. We want to be that as artists together. And so it's not that we'll always use those exact creative things in our services, but we do want all of our musicians to express their full potential creatively here at Redeemer. Number 5 is that we always want to be progressively becoming better at our instruments and our voices. So what that means is that we want to not just be the most excellent guitar player or the master singer, but we always want to be learners. Whether you are completely advanced at what you're doing or you are a novice just coming in, we want to always be thinking, what's next? What can I learn further? And so this is just something that I think God's built into us. We want to be people that are curious, that are wanting to discover new things, and always have the mindset that I've not arrived. And so everyone here at Redeemer is always in this process of moving forward. How can I become a better musician so that I can serve this church even more deeply at Redeemer? And so we want to be progressively excellent at what we do.